Flosstube. I'm Amy, I'm the Globetrotting Stitcher, and I'm happy to be back with you today. I hope you are all doing well. Today is December the 28th, and this is episode number 14. It's kind of hard to believe that it's very much almost the end of the year, just a couple more days, and also I can't quite believe we're already at episode 14. I hope that you guys are all doing well. We had a lovely, very quiet, very socially distanced, very masked up Christmas. But it was really nice to have perhaps a slightly less busy holiday season, and we really enjoyed the day, and so that was really lovely. We're gonna have a much quieter New Year than we usually have as well. New Year's is Gary's favorite holiday, and so when we normally have a party and have a lot of our close friends over to celebrate the ending of one year and the beginning of another, and this year, of course, we're not going to be doing that. So we'll see what we end up doing, but it should be fun regardless. I wanted to share a couple of things. So in one of my recent videos, I had put out a plea for help and for advice. So one of our viewers had left a comment looking for some help because she had a hole in her fabric that needed to be repaired, and she didn't want to just toss her project away, which I don't blame her. And so she was asking, for any tips and tricks on how to repair that. And so a number of you came to the rescue and provided some really great resources and tutorials and links to information on how to fix fabric that's got a tear in it. And so I just wanted to say thank you to all of you for your advice for her. I think that was really helpful for her. And for those that might be interested in that as a resource in the future, I'm going to bring together all of those links and bits of information and include that in a section in the description box below so that those who are interested in that as a resource in the future will have it. And then finally, I wanted to tell you about a new floss tuber that I have discovered recently. Her name is Paula, and her channel name is Stitching in High Heels. And as of right now, she's got 2 videos out, and I really enjoyed watching them earlier today. Paula's from upstate New York. She's a fellow redhead. And I personally love the fact that she's from upstate New York because my dad grew up on a dairy farm there. And so I always have like a soft spot in my heart for that part of the country. But she stitches a little bit of everything. So she's a long-time stitcher. I think she said she's been stitching since the mid-'80s. And she stitches a lot of a really broad genre, or a number of different kinds of cross stitch. So no matter what your style is, no matter what you like, I think she's probably got something that you would enjoy seeing. So she's got some Nora Corbett's, she's got some Teresa Wentzler's, she does some samplers, and so it's just a lot of really beautiful things. And one of the things that she showed on one of her videos I've never seen before, but I really loved it. So she used a Biscornu finish for some Christmas tree ornaments. And I just thought that was a really great idea. And so I would really recommend, please go check her out. Give her some love. I think you'll really enjoy her videos. She's a lot of fun. And so Paula, welcome to the Flosstube community, and I do hope you continue making videos because I really enjoyed watching your videos and seeing what you're working on. So let's get into the stitching. You guys might remember, if you saw our last video, that Gary had his first finish. Yay! And so we wanted to share with you the FFO, or the fully finished version of that. As we had mentioned in that video, that was actually a Christmas gift, so it has already been gifted to his son, so we don't have it to show you in person. But we did take a photograph, and we'll put that in the video so you can see the full finish on moss quotes that Gary stitched for his son for Christmas. And it was really fun because when he opened up that Christmas present, he really liked it. He was like, oh gosh, this really looks like that guy. It's even got the same kind of hairstyle, and he really liked it. And I said, who do you think made that? He's like, you. And I said, no, I did not. And so he was really surprised because he had no idea that his dad had been cross-stitching and kind of exploring that. And so I think he just really liked the fact that his dad had made that for him. And it turned out really good. So So yeah, we'll put up a picture of that so you can see the final finish. Let's go ahead and hop into our whips. Let's see. So I think the first thing I want to show you today is my fancy lady, which is Celtic Autumn. This is a design by Lavender and Lace that I am stitching on 32 count Earthen Belfast linen by Picture This Plus. And I am doing a color conversion that is by Janet Granger. There's a link to that conversion in the description box below. So the last time you saw this design, you know, those of you that have been following me since the beginning know that I feel that this design in particular has just taken me a lot longer to stitch than I would have expected it to. And so the last time I was working on it, I was finally getting close to the point where I thought I was, you know, the end was in sight as far as finishing the stitching on the woman on her beautiful gown. And I had a good chunk of gown left to go. And I was really, really pleased because when I worked on it this time, I put in some longer hours than I normally would in stitching it. I had at least 1 or 2 nights where I stayed up a lot later than a responsible adult should. But I think it's worth it because here she is. So I'm really happy to say that although the design itself is I'm not finished with all of the stitching, I have finished all of the stitching on the beautiful Celtic woman here in the middle. So her gown is all done. All the beading on her gown is done. The metallic flosses are all in. Got her shoe. And so the only things that I have left to stitch, there's half of a medallion that needs to be stitched over here. And then I just need to finish this medallion border here. And that's it. She'll be done once I finish that. And so I'm really, really excited to be so close to a finish on this. I'm really ready to get started on my next fancy lady. And so I'm just super excited to be at this point with this design. I did debate with myself because I think probably 2 to 3 nights of stitching will be about all that's needed to finish this up. And so I really debated when I got to the end of my rotation on this about whether I should just carry on and just get it done, just knock it out. But I really, really wanted to get on to the next piece that was coming up. And so I decided, as hard as it was to put her away and not just get that finish taken care of, I didn't want to lose any time working on the next piece in my rotation. And so I did go ahead and put her away. But when she comes out again in January, I expect that we'll have a pretty quick finish and a new start to show you on the next fancy lady. So this is where we are now, and I'm super happy that this is where we're ending the year with Celtic Autumn. Okay. The next whip that I have to show you was a new start the last time we filmed, and this is my seasonal spot. This is called Holiday Ribbons. It's by Laura J. Perrin Designs. And this is my first go round with counted canvas work. So as you might remember when we showed this the first time, I'd only had a couple of days to get a start on it. And this design is basically, the idea is that it's overlapping ribbons of various holiday themed motifs. And so I was really happy because this came up in my rotation, and it just happened this way. I didn't plan it, but this came up to be worked on during Christmas week. And so it was really fun to spend some time with this, such a seasonally appropriate design during Christmas week. So let me show you where I am now. So I'm pretty pleased with what I got accomplished. As always during Christmas week, I always think, oh, I'm on vacation, so I'm going to have a lot of time to stitch. And then I forget about the fact that Christmas week is full of baking and delivering goodies and family stuff. And so I didn't get quite as much, I didn't hit all of the goals that I had for this because I didn't end up having as much stitching time as I thought I would. But that's okay because I've made really good progress. And one of the things that both Gary and I have noticed about when I'm working on this piece is you make a lot more progress more quickly than you do with cross stitch. Ooh, hello. So most of what's in here is either tent stitch or satin stitch, but there are also some specialty stitches. And so what's really fun is, so this is the first ribbon and it cuts across the center of the piece. And as you can see, it's just got all these beautiful metallic presents. And so I was able to get this section, that's completely done now. And then I stitched this section this last week when I was working on it. The only thing that's left that I need to finish on this section is just filling in this sparkly white tent stitch for the background. Then I also put in the majority of this ribbon of wreaths, and you probably can't see this detail unless you're up close, but it's really fun because those wreaths are stitched using specialty stitches and they've got great texture to them. So the next time I work on this, I'll finish filling in the background on that ribbon, and then we'll get, the wreath ribbon, and we'll get all the bows and the beads on those wreaths. I also got a teeny tiny bit of a start on the candy cane ribbon. So this one is it's really fun to work with. It's a nice palette cleanser, and it's really satisfying because you make such quick progress. I did have someone who asked me on Instagram when I posted my progress picture on this piece to share some more detail in our next video. And so I did want to tell you guys a couple things about this. Just because the materials that you use are different. So rather than using DMC cotton floss, the background here, the background stitching does use just regular DMC, but most of the stitching uses DMC pearl cotton. So it's number 5 pearl cotton, or you use like a satin ribbon floss. I really like working with the satin ribbon floss. I'm not enjoying as much working with the pearl cotton because I tend to prefer working with really long strands of floss when I'm using just regular DMC. And I've discovered when working with pearl cotton, you need to use shorter strands because it starts to fray and get like loose and doesn't look very nice. And so, yeah, I'm not a super big fan of working with the pearl cotton, but it's okay. This is a learning experience and I'm really enjoying working on this. And I don't know that I would ever switch over to counted canvas as like my primary crafting thing. I think I'll always be a cross stitcher, but I could see myself doing more counted canvas work in the future because this is really enjoyable. So that's where I am on this. This is 18 count Santa Fe Sage mono canvas. Okay. And then I have one width left to show you of my own, and that is the May Cottage. And I'm almost embarrassed to show you this because I've hardly touched it since the last time we filmed.
You were stitching it just before we filmed.
Yes, and that's only the second time I've touched it since the last time we filmed.
You were trying to show more progress.
Yes, I was.
I get it.
You didn't have to let that cat out of the bag.
I didn't.
No, but you did anyway.
I'll edit it out.
No, you won't. We both know that's a lie. So we'll just show you how little I've accomplished on this precious cottage. Oh, here we go. It's just not gotten a lot of love, but it's such a cute design. So I filled in more, most of the work I did was in the house. So I did fill in more of the house, made some progress on the windows, and then started working on this bottom border here. And I think I finished off one of the little areas of fence. That is it. It's not going to shock you. The only thing shocking about it is how little I got done. And I distinctly remember the last time we filmed making some statements about, oh yeah, I'll totally get that finished by the end of the year. Well, people, today is December 28th. Unless I don't do any other stitching this week, I don't see that happening. So this, I think, will carry over into 2021, but it should be finished up relatively soon. It's just not gonna be a 2020 finish, and that's okay. But yeah, so that's where we are on the May Cottage. I've really enjoyed working on this series. When this one is finished, I only have one left to do in the series, and that's the June Cottage. And then I've started kitting up the next seasonal design series that I'm going to do as part of my travel stitching. So stay tuned next year and you'll see what I'll be working on. Okay, the last thing we have to show you is a brand new start. And We had mentioned last time that after Gary had finished his project for his son's Christmas present, that he wanted to stitch something for me. And so he had a start on I Love Fall by Cherry Hill Stitchery. And I'll go ahead and I'm happy to go ahead and show them what you've accomplished. I don't know if you want to talk about your adventures and misadventures with this piece so far, or do you want me to share?
These are the things you prep someone for.
Yes.
So they know, so they're ready.
Yes.
There was a lot of ripping out. There's a lot.
Significant amounts of frogging have taken place.
Yeah, I guess that's what it's called, frogging.
Yeah.
I didn't know what frogging meant, now I do. If you look at the top of the green border, I got like maybe 10 or 13 of those in and realized that there were 2 spaces in between each instead of 1, so we had to take out 10 of them. So then we had to do that a couple times. Anyway, finally finished it, that top part, and now we're on one that I can't mess up, so there you go.
Yeah. And Gary is stitching this on a 16 count, I think it's a French vanilla latte Aida, or vanilla latte Aida. I can't remember exactly what the fabric color is. I think one of the things that we've noticed, so in the original design, the original design has white pumpkins that are going to come in down here. And after we got the fabric for this, I was looking at it and realized that I had probably ordered a fabric that is too pale for white pumpkins. So we're going to have to figure out what we want to do with that, whether it's white pumpkins with backstitch or maybe changing the pumpkin colors in some way. So
I'm not sure what we are going to do about that, because you switched out half the colors anyway, so
I just did the DMCs.
Half the colors you switched out. Yeah.
We're going to move on here because it's going to get awkward. Anyway, despite all of the ripping out that had to happen on this piece, Gary he's just stitching so fast. I keep telling him I'm blown away by how quickly he stitches. And I know you guys can't see the stitch quality from where you are as far as on the screen probably, but he has surprisingly nice stitches, like good coverage, and he's also got really good tension to his stitches. Like, I don't know if I've ever seen a brand new stitcher that has such nice tension this soon. So I'm really impressed.
I'm tense.
You're tense. You're super tense.
Yeah.
You've just got the right amount of tension.
Here we go.
So anyway, this is Gary's progress on
It's
I
all
Love
about
Fall.
the balance. See, now we have to do a yin and yang.
Yes,
stitch.
that's correct. So that's it for our stitching for the past 2 weeks. I think it's been a productive couple of weeks, and we've both really been enjoying our stitching. So that's fun. It has also been a good couple of weeks. So I think I mentioned in my last video, I have a December birthday, and so I have some excellent haul to share with you for both my birthday and Christmas. Both Gary and my parents kind of spoiled me rotten with some beautiful charts that I've been wanting for a while. And so I wanted to just share with you my new haul that I'm looking forward to stitching on at some point in the future. The first one is a newer chart. This is Sweater Weather by Plum Street Samplers. I think I've shared in the past, I have a couple of the Wiener Dog charts, and I just love these, but Sweater Weather I think is just wonderful. So I don't have any plans to stitch this imminently, but it's definitely on the short list because I love it. It's so cute. Another one, this has been on my wish list for a long time. This is Merry and Bright by Country Cottage Needleworks. And I think this is going to be really fun and probably a fairly quick stitch. Famous last words. So super cute. This is Welcome Winter by Filigram. This one has kind of a funny story with it because this chart has a companion piece that is really similar. So you can see on this design, it says welcome, and then you've got this snowman here on the right side of the design. The companion piece, it's the same color palette, the same kind of Quaker snowflakes, but it's got two two snowmen on the left side, and then I forget what the word is, that it's like nice snowflakes or something like that. So they look very, very similar. And so I already had the other chart, and this was on my wish list, and Gary got this for me. And then he saw the other chart because I had been looking at it and I left it on my nightstand. And so he thought that I had gone ahead and bought myself this chart when he had purchased it for me. So I got an early Christmas present. And then I had to explain to him that no, in fact, it's a companion chart, because I was getting in trouble for buying for buying Christmas presents off my wish list. You're not supposed to do that. There's like a limit. So
that's your version.
My version is the true version of the story.
Here we go then.
Okay, so we're going to put this down, but I love this. I'm really excited to stitch these two charts. They're on my short list for 2021. The next thing I got was Huckleberry Farm by the Blue Flower, which I think pretty much everybody who owns a needle has stitched on this design this year. I fell in love with this coming out of Nashville Market this last year. And so really looking forward to working on this at some point. It's such a beautiful design. Those of you who are not already watching Becca at Sambry Stitches, she's been working on this over the past year. She's made amazing progress. And so just if you want to see what a really beautiful design it is as it stitches up, you should go check out her channel. Next one is Blooming Bouquets. This is number 1, Thankful by Jeanette Douglas. And this is one of those charts, I think I've said in the past, I tend not to be drawn to the prim aesthetic. It's just not generally my style, with a few exceptions. And of course, Flosstube is increasingly making me more excited about prim designs. But this one, the moment I saw it, I just fell in love with it. And I actually love all of the charts in this series. They're all on my wish list. And so this is another one that Gary got me that I just think is just beautiful, and I'm really looking forward to stitching. All right, trying to avoid an avalanche. And then the final design that I received as a gift is Stars Bright by Lindy Stitches. And this is another one that's been on my wish list for a while. Erin, the Two Martini Stitcher, has been working on this. It's her anniversary piece with her husband, and it's so beautiful. These gorgeous granny quilt squares, or granny squares, that make up the border, they are so bright and colorful, especially on this, like, that minty fabric. And I just love whenever this comes out and she shows her progress on this on her channel. It is stunning. It is just so pretty. So I'm really, really happy that that I received this one, and I'm looking forward to stitching this one in the future. So that is about all we have for today. Between now and the next time we make a video, I'm going to be working on my full coverage design, my rose trellis in. And this will be, I had big plans for what I wanted to accomplish on it in 2020. I didn't get quite as far as I wanted to, but I'm looking forward to spending some good chunks of time on that in the next week, and hoping to make some good progress to show you as we wrap up the year. I will then be working on my the autumn section of my Loose Feathers sampler by Blackbird Designs. And so looking forward to hopefully putting in some decent time on that and really making some good progress. And finally, I will be working on that May Cottage and really pushing for a finish before the next time we film. So wish me luck with that. And then finally, Gary and I are going to be working sometime in the next week or so on pulling together a kind of like a retrospective of 2020. So it'll be sort of a parade of all of our finishes in 2020, and then kind of showing where we are on our whips, and just the progress that we've made for the year, and then maybe a little bit of a look ahead to some of the stuff we've got planned to work on in 2021.
No, not that part.
Oh, okay.
This is going to be a short, sweet one.
Oh, okay. So no plans. No plans. It's all the plans are a surprise as we go.
No, there are plans. They just don't include. It's what you've completed in 2020.
Okay. You heard it here first, folks.
There you go.
There we go. So keep an eye out for that. We hope to have that out to you soon. And yeah, I don't think we'll actually have this video posted before New Year's Eve, but we wish all of you a really safe and happy New Year's Eve. And we wish you a very healthy, happy, safe 2021 that is full of joy, full of hope, full of all the good things that I think a lot of people felt were missing from 2020. So, yeah, we are looking forward to good things in the coming year, and we hope you are too. So if you like our videos and you haven't already subscribed, please do. We would love to have you stick with us as we continue this journey. Please do feel free to give us a like. We love your comments and really enjoy reading them. And if you would like to get notifications when we post a new video, you can hit the little bell. Feel free to follow me on Instagram. I am at globetrotting_Stitcher. And you can also send us an email. I'm trying to do a better job of checking my my Gmail regularly, and that is globetrotting_Stitcher@gmail.com. So again, thank you for spending some time with us today. All the best to you for the coming year, and we will see you very soon. Take care.